Hello class, Mr. Guarino here. In this video I'm going to illustrate how to take your animation with your character walk cycle and add to it a song that plays in the background. And the way to get the song to play continually and be right, instead of some other options that don't work too good with a JavaScript Canvas document and Animate, I found the best way to do that is to write some code and put it on a button so that when you click the button, the song will play. So we're going to create a button and write some code and then have the song. First, let's go get the song. So I'll go to YouTube, and rather than have me go and search, I've already found the song. So I copied the URL so I don't have to waste your time. So the SpongeBob theme song, once you find what you want, copy that URL and then go to, well, you can search and look for YouTube MP3 converters, but I already found one, again, to save time. So this one worked well for me. It's ytmp3.nu. So all this other stuff got put in after I hit enter. So it's just that. And that brings up this website, and then all you have to do is get your link from YouTube, the URL, paste that in here. It's on MP3, hit convert, and then download. And of course, download it to your folder where you're doing all your work. So I got this character animation thing. You can see I previously did it, so I got my SpongeBob thing here. And of course, these long names sometimes cause a little bit of a problem. So I would go here and maybe just call it SB1. Make it simple. Now it's trying to open up some pop-up, which is getting blocked by whatever type of security you have, but that's okay because we're done, so we can just close out Chrome. And if I go to my character animation folder, you see SB1, so that's my song. I'll move that out of the way. Go to library and go to file, import to library, and go to the correct folder, SB1, open that. So here it is. And let's go make our button. So let's make a new layer. We'll call it button, abbreviated BTN. So a nice way to make a button is to just draw some rectangles or ovals. So I'm going to click on my rectangle tool, make sure it's on that, go to my properties. I'm going to set up, actually no, I'm not going to do that. Oopsie. What I want to do first is insert new symbol and call it anything you want. I guess I'll call it button, and go to so you got three choices: movie clip, graphic. Obviously we're choosing button, and then say OK. So now here's my button symbol. Notice the button symbol has, it's a little hard to see I think under there. If I make this bigger, there's the up, the over. I'm going to click there, press F6. There's the down, click there, press F6, and then the hit, click there, press F6. So I'm going to go back to my rectangle tool and choose and go back to the first frame and go to, where's my mouse? So here it is, properties of my tool, meaning my rectangle tool, and I'm going to have my up state. That's just what the button looks like without any mouse over it anywhere. Draw it anywhere. I guess I'll try and draw it a little bit in the center. Maybe I'll make it like this big. That's my up state. And then I'm going to click on my move tool, click that once, Control C to copy. But then I want to do on the over, I'm going to go edit, paste in place, and then just change the color from yellow to, let me make it blue. Blue? Yeah, whatever. and then go to the down state and do edit, paste in place, and change the color to black. And then the hit area, I'm gonna go edit, paste in place, and I'll change that to gray. So I think it's pretty obvious. Up is no mouse there at all. Over is when you hover over with your mouse. Down is when you click down with your mouse. The hit area is where when you roll over it with your mouse, when your cursor changes to the hand, when you're on the internet, on a browser. So you could actually make the hit state a lot bigger, and then the hand would appear faster or before you actually go over the button. Or you could make it smaller to ensure people got directly on the button. But usually the hit area is the same size as the button. So that's what I've done. Also, I want people to know what this button is for. So I'm going to put some text on it. You can choose any font you want. I'm just going to drag over here. And I'm going to say play song. I don't really like the gray. So I'll drag over that and change it to red. And maybe make this like 24 point. That looks pretty good. Go to my move tool. And it doesn't have to be in the center, but what the heck, let's kind of center it. So now it's on the up state, but when I roll over, it's going to disappear. So I want to click on this. Same thing, Control C to copy, go to the over state, paste in place, so it'll stay there when I hover over. And then of course I want it there when I click down. I mean, you don't have to have it there. You could make it disappear. That's kind of up to you, but I think I want it there. So I'll have play song as well. And then of course there's no reason to put it on the hit area because that never shows up on the button. It's just the area where the mouse hits. So now we have our button all set up. So I go back here, and if I go to my library, I have this button symbol. And on the button layer, which is empty, I'm going to drag that out and put it down in this corner because I know that SpongeBob is going to walk across there and he's not really going to go over that button. The button's a little big, so I think I'll do my free transform tool and shrink it down a little bit and then put it a little bit more in the corner, and then he definitely won't go over it. There we go. So now that we have our button symbol, we have to write some code to make it work. And you already saw this little window floating out here. To get that, first we should make a new layer. And almost everyone calls it actions. And I guess it automatically made that layer go all the way out to where the whole animation goes, but we don't want that like that. The actions layer only, oops, I clicked with the right mouse by accident. The actions layer only needs to be the first frame, so I'm going to remove all those frames. And on this frame that's empty right now, I'm going to right click and say actions. And then it brings up this little dialog box where you can write some code. So here's the code we're going to write. We're going to say this dot play song underscore btn. That's going to be the name of my button. And then we're going to add an event listener. And what type of thing is it going to listen for? It's going to listen for a click, meaning like a mouse click. Oops. It's supposed to be in quotes. So click. I should have put the quotes first. I thought I hit it. Click, and then what happens when I click? It runs whenever in the add event listener built-in method. You tell it what you're listening for, and then what function runs when it senses whatever you're listening for. In this instance, a click. So I'm just going to name a function play song, and then at the end you should have a semicolon, couple of enters, Then I'm going to define my function. I'm going to say function, play, song, spell it exactly the same way with the uppercase S. This is called camel case. We have two words together. We're not allowed to have a space when we use code, so we uppercase the first letter of the second word to let everyone know this is the second word, but we're just not allowed to use spaces. In fact, it's probably safest to copy that and paste it so you don't make a typo, especially if you put a lowercase s there. Sometimes that could be really hard to find because you know it's an S, so it's right, but it's not right because it's not uppercase. And then two parentheses and then the curly brace, and then you hit enter. And then JavaScript has a built-in thing called create.js. So create JavaScript. What are we creating? We're creating a sound. What do we want to do with that sound? We want to play it. And what sound do we want to play? We're going to play the SpongeBob underscore theme. Close the quotes, close the parentheses, and semicolon. And then the last thing I want to do is, after I click that button, I don't want it to stay there because if the person clicks it again, the song will play on top of itself. So if I remove the button from the screen, they cannot click on it again. But since I'm in a function now, I can't just say this. Oh, by the way, the word this basically says this, like this document, this button, this where we're at, this. But now we're in a function, so we kind of got to go back to the this. And the word you use for that is, export root. That means take me back out to the main document, the main timeline, out of this function. Play song. Not with a capital S. Play song underscore button dot visible equals false. Meaning, is it visible? No. And a couple things we have to do here to make this work as well. Move this over here. This button has to have a name. When I click on it, it's going to show you, it comes off of this frame right here. So this button right here has to have a name in Animate. And the name has to be this right here. Play song button. That's the name of the button. That's the thing we're going to click on. That's the thing we're going to click on. It's listening for the click on that. So I'm going to copy this. So Control C to copy. Then I click on this and I go to properties. You'll see right up here it says instance name. So that's the name of your symbol that's on the stage. So I click there and I paste. So this right here has to match this over here. And then the other thing too is this create.js sound.play is going to try and pull out of the library this thing called SB underscore theme. In our library we do have the song, but in Animate, when it wants to pull something out of the library, it needs a linkage. So rather than type, I'll double click this, Control C to copy, and next to the song I double click in the linkage column and paste that in. So the song is sb1.mp3, but its linkage name is sb underscore theme. So now that should work. So let's see, I can close this and let me check my publish settings. And it should be going to my character animation folder. And hopefully this works because I do sometimes have a little bit of a glitch, and I think it's because we're publishing to our Google Drive through the Google Drive desktop app, and sometimes it's a little glitchy. So let's just see. No, now I'm going to hit Control Enter. And here's my animation. Remember, I showed you that in a previous video when we were just working on animating the character. Now let's hope the song plays. So you can see when I roll over, the button changes from yellow to blue, and when I click, it should change to black and then go away.
Are ya ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
And you can hear, obviously, the song playing. And also the button disappeared, so I can't click on it again and play the song over again.
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
SpongeBob SquarePants!
So that's how you can add a nice background song to go along with your animation. I think you'll have some fun with that, so enjoy. Thank you.